It's a lot. It's good, bro.
Hey, what's up, King Son? Man, you doing it, man. You deserve it, Daddy. You putting in that work. I'm proud of you. I love you. Yeah.
Okay. It is definitely a heavy situation, and you can see the hard work being put in. The effort deserves recognition. But to address the elephant in the room, everyone is looking at the allegations and questioning whether the attraction is toward men or women. The response is that it depends on the mood and the vibe. When asked directly about having sexual relations with Meek Mill, the answer remains a mystery. Meek Mill has finally broken his silence, exposing a shadowed chapter he once kept buried, drawn directly into the storm surrounding the high-profile lawsuit against Diddy. He speaks with the weight of someone who has seen too much and stayed quiet for too long. Without pointing fingers, his words carry the pain of betrayal and the scars of manipulation. His revelation has only intensified the blaze already burning, fueling public curiosity and sparking new questions about the truth behind the scenes and the price of surviving in that world. One of the biggest topics coming out recently involves a producer who worked with Diddy named Lil Rod, who filed a lawsuit alleging a long list of things. Among those allegations is a claim that he was slipped one of Diddy's famous drinks, only to wake up later feeling as though something had happened to him during the night. He also alleged that Meek Mill and Diddy shared an intimate, sexual relationship. It raises the question of how people are reacting now that individuals are actively coming forward to allege that Diddy's interactions involved men, moving past the previous focus on figures like Cassie or various escorts. There is a certain irony in seeing the internet act so surprised, especially since people like Reggie Wright have been speaking on these exact topics for a long time. Predictions were made that these details would eventually surface because an executive does not order up male escorts unless it is for personal enjoyment. People typically only secure female escorts if that aligns with their preferences, and ordering male escorts suggests a desire for that specific company. For anyone expressing shock, these developments were anticipated, and it was only a matter of time before someone exposed it. It is unfortunate that people have to go through these situations. While many believe in concepts like the Illuminati, a more grounded perspective suggests that the sudden wave of lawsuits is happening because the legal protection surrounding Diddy has started to fade. Once high-profile figures begin paying out settlements quickly, it signals to attorneys that the individual is willing to pay substantial amounts, whether it is hundreds of thousands or millions, just to make the issues disappear. In most cases, corporate and business insurance policies are the ones actually handling these payouts and making the ultimate decisions. Because of the mounting costs of keeping teams of lawyers involved, insurance companies often find it quicker and more cost-effective to settle the cases. This is the reality currently unfolding, and it explains why so many individuals are now coming forward. This does not mean the lawsuits are unjustified, but when it comes to the rumors involving Meek Mill, it is difficult to fully believe. Even when Meek Mill addressed the situation, it stood out that he did not issue a flat denial. Usually, when there is that much smoke, there is some form of fire underneath it. This is not to definitively say Meek Mill, Usher, or Justin Bieber were involved, but the situation is starting to draw comparisons to the controversies surrounding Michael Jackson. It is a controversial take that upsets many people, but there are long-standing beliefs regarding those past situations, supported by individuals who were around that circle back then. Ultimately, it is difficult to determine the absolute truth, and debating it back and forth only goes so far. But that revelation was only the beginning of the chaos. Meek Mill stunned everyone with yet another bombshell, a near-fatal car crash that he insists was no mere coincidence. With tensions between him and Diddy already at a breaking point, his words carried an unmistakable edge, hinting at something far more sinister simmering beneath the surface. The internet instantly erupted, flooded with speculation as fans and online detectives scrambled to connect the dots, debating whether the incident was a cruel twist of fate or a calculated act of foul play. Refusing to stay silent, Meek laid his suspicions bare for the world to see, his honesty igniting a wave of outrage and curiosity that turned an already volatile controversy into a blazing inferno, leaving everyone questioning just how deep this story really goes. Signs have been there for a long time suggesting a desire to step out of the closet, and at this point, it might be best to just do it. In the modern era, society has largely moved past judging these choices, given how much media representation has normalized it for the public. The issue for many is not the lifestyle itself, but rather the historical and biblical context that people associate with these actions, which shapes their personal viewpoints on the matter. Looking at it from an old-school perspective, things were kept hidden back in the 80s and 90s, whereas today people are completely open about it. The main point is that Diddy should just come clean, because as long as he tries to hide it, the lawsuits, threats, and extortion attempts will keep coming from people trying to leverage his fear of exposure. Once a person stops caring and openly states that everything involved consenting adults, the leverage disappears. The next logical step in this situation will likely be the opening of formal criminal investigations. When a controversy generates this much public noise, law enforcement generally feels compelled to step in. It is an unfortunate reality for him, but it is the direction things are heading. There is a specific viewpoint when it comes to victims. If someone does not seek psychological help or report the incident immediately, but instead waits 15 years to speak out, it creates skepticism. True validation often comes when things are brought to light right after they happen, rather than years later when an attorney sees an opportunity to target a massive bank account. This is exactly what is happening to Diddy right now, but the public should not act surprised given the long-running rumors about his lifestyle. Looking back at previous discussions, many people doubted the claims regarding Diddy's ongoing business deals, insisting everything had already been terminated. Yet, recent articles confirmed that a settlement and a deal were reached just months later. It highlights the importance of getting information from accurate sources rather than relying on random internet commentary. That is why Meek Mill refuses to retreat. He is stepping into the storm with fire in his voice and conviction fueling every move. No longer content to stay silent, he is standing tall, ready to defend his name and legacy against every whisper and shadow of accusations that have tried to define him. With a fearless edge and an unshakable sense of purpose, Meek is calling out the industry's hidden power players, convinced there is a calculated effort to undermine his rise and distort his truth. For him, this isn't about spectacle or survival. It's about reclaiming his narrative, demanding the respect he has earned, and confronting every force that has tried to break him. This is more than resistance. It is a declaration of strength, a battle for truth, and Meek Mill has made it clear he is not backing down. Not now. Not ever. Because this has turned into such a massive story, many people who frequented those circles and witnessed questionable behavior are likely nervous, hoping they were not captured on any recordings. They are choosing to stay completely silent until they are directly approached. When Homeland Security gathers its evidence, agents are going to actively interview anyone who might have information about what happened in the past. Celebrities are going to stay quiet until they are contacted or until they see the full extent of the evidence. Figures like Stevie J, who publicly defended Diddy on major outlets, might be the first ones pulled aside by investigators to verify their statements against existing photographic or video evidence. The primary worry among these celebrities stems from Lil Rod's affidavit, which claimed that Diddy had every single room in his house taped and bugged with micro cameras and recorders. Knowing that these gatherings involved heavy substance use and highly sensitive situations, everyone is left wondering if and when that footage will be released. This anxiety extends beyond just the entertainment industry. The guest list reportedly included prominent politicians, international figures, and even religious leaders. If the claims in the lawsuit are accurate, the tapes definitely exist. Meek Mill has bravely opened up about the profound emotional toll of his past connection with Diddy, exposing the depth of the wounds that linger far beneath the surface. He revealed how the aftermath of their turbulent history left him battling to stay centered, relying on authentic support systems and inner strength to carry the immense emotional weight that followed. In an industry where appearances often eclipse reality, Meek's transparency slices through the illusion, offering a raw and unfiltered glimpse into the vulnerability that fame so often conceals. Feeling suffocated by the relentless pressure, expectations, and unforgiving grind of the spotlight, he makes it clear that this isn't about clout, controversy, or legal headlines. It's about acknowledging the lasting mental and emotional scars that shaped his journey and finding the courage to reclaim his peace, rebuild his spirit, and rise above the chaos that once threatened to tear him apart. When the Lil Rod lawsuit surfaced with its heavy allegations, Meek Mill reacted with intense frustration, repeatedly demanding that people stop questioning his orientation. This unfolded during an extended live stream where the entire legal document was being analyzed word for word to get to the actual facts, rather than just repeating short summaries found on standard news sites. While the lawsuit did not explicitly name the rapper, it described a Philadelphia artist who previously dated Nicki Minaj, which made the identity completely obvious to the audience. The initial reaction on stream was pure disbelief, given the tough, gangster persona that the rapper has maintained throughout his career. That reaction quickly went viral, leading to a major misunderstanding where the rapper assumed the commentary was entirely fabricated. Despite explanations that the details came directly from a federal court PDF, he went on the defensive, claiming the information was AI-generated and issuing extreme online threats. The situation escalated further when he claimed to receive a call from the governor regarding the online dispute, a connection that stems from his involvement in prison reform initiatives. It highlights a common paradox where a public figure known for aggressive lyrics shifts the narrative to claiming they are being targeted or set up once their threats are brushed off. The confrontation became incredibly bizarre, involving explicit threats to trespass and deface property, followed by a sudden shift where the rapper claimed he was advised to drop the feud and announced plans to make charitable donations. It stands out as an unnecessary conflict for a successful artist who is nearly 40, living in a luxury New York high-rise and owning a fleet of expensive vehicles, yet still fighting to prove his status to people from his hometown. Meek Mill has opened up about the profound emotional toll of his past connection with Diddy, shedding light on just how deeply the damage cut beneath the surface. He revealed that the fallout left him fighting to stay grounded, turning to genuine support systems in order to bear the heavy weight that followed. In a world where image often overshadows truth, Meek's honesty cuts through the noise, painting a raw picture of vulnerability within an industry that rarely allows it. Feeling trapped and drained by the relentless pace and pressure of fame, he emphasizes that this moment isn't about headlines, lawsuits, or public perception. It's about confronting the mental and emotional scars that never fully healed and reclaiming a sense of peace and strength from the chaos that once threatened to consume him. Looking at the broader picture, the emotional distress of those coming forward is palpable. Seeing figures like songwriter Tiffany Red express absolute fear over potential retaliation shows the severe human cost of this situation. There is a strong spiritual perspective shared by many observers that the continuous wrongdoing against numerous artists over the decades is finally coming to light, and that the ultimate battle has already been decided on a deeper level. The ongoing legal and financial fallout is just the physical manifestation of that reality. For the creators who simply wanted to share their talents but ended up trapped in fearful environments, the message from the community is one of solidarity and protection. Tiffany Red, known as a close friend of Cassie, has spoken out about the dark environment surrounding those studio sessions, detailing a deeply disturbing atmosphere. This behavior from Diddy has reportedly spanned a very long time, but unlike past situations, newer artists are not waiting decades to speak up. They are coming forward just a couple of years after terminating their working relationships, determined to show the world exactly what occurred. The extensive court documentation reveals a highly consistent pattern of behavior, specifically involving the utilization of others to lure individuals into compromising situations. The mounting lawsuits surrounding Diddy have taken a dramatic new turn, unexpectedly drawing Meek Mill into the crossfire with fresh allegations that link him to the embattled mogul, further amplifying an already volatile situation. What began as a swirl of legal battles has now erupted into a full-blown storm, shaking the entertainment world and fueling relentless speculation about who might be implicated next. What are your thoughts on how these unfolding legal battles will reshape the music industry moving forward? Let me know in the comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more deep dives into these stories.